I'm here at Hyundai's California Proving Ground, which is a 4,300-acre test facility to drive the Ioniq 9. I know the wrap looks weird, but that's because I'm driving a prototype vehicle which has been camouflaged. I've already shown you the Ioniq 9 inside out, and thus this video is going to focus solely on the driving experience of this 3-row SUV. So here we go. Come on. After driving the Ioniq 5N, I'm like, where is the performance? Okay, their ADAS warning has come in. I have no clue what mode we are in right now. Let me change it and let's see, does it make a difference? Yeah, I think the acceleration improved here for sure. And straight away, we are actually going to be going on the winding track, the oval track actually, and this is very bright right now. So this car is powered by 110.3 kilowatt hour battery pack, and power output depends on the variant. So there are multiple variants. The base variant, which is the rear wheel drive variant, has a single motor at the rear, which is I think around 205 horsepower. And if you opt for all-wheel drive, you have an additional around 110 horsepower on the front axle, around 70 kilowatt. I'm doing that conversion in my mind right now. And then obviously beyond that, what do you have? You have the all-wheel drive performance, which has the same electric motor on both the axles, which is 160 horsepower on each axle. Not 160 horsepower, more than that actually. 210 horsepower on each axle. The result is it's 420 horsepower, not really, and off we go. Come on. So 420 horsepower on each axle, sorry, not even on each axle, on either like combined output, but it's not really 420 horsepower as such, purely because the combined output doesn't work that way. It's I think around 380 horsepower, same as the Kia EV9. Yes, torque output is also quite impressive. This car feels extremely smooth, very refined. I don't know what, I know what speed I'm doing. I'm doing 110 miles per hour right now, which is around 170 kilometers per hour. The car remains super glued and stable on the road. It's quite unbelievable how smooth this car is. Obviously it has to be smooth. We'll just turn on this camera here, which will give me a better view of what's behind. So at 160 kilometers per hour, I find this car to be extremely smooth and refined. Let's use the wipers at these speeds. Oh god, the noise inside is very less somehow, because you know why? This car has a lot of emphasis on the insulation. So they have gone ahead overboard to insulate the cabin, which means that they have used foam and they've used low noise tires. They've used acoustic glass here. So a lot of these things have been done to make sure that this car is absolutely smooth and silent. There's some sound coming from where probably the road or something. But yeah, as I see it, very impressive a car in terms of the way it performs. For an electric car, you would never expect it to be this smooth, but this one is very smooth. So the sun is too bright right now, and the steering actually weighs up decently well. So high speed stability is actually very good here. And then full throttle, come on. Okay, there is a bit of wind noise, and I think you can simulate the sound. If this cloth was not here, then I could have definitely gone ahead and done a lot of things. 125 miles per hour, do the calculation guys, which is 125 into 1.6, I think around 190 kilometers per hour is what I hit right now. And for a car which is this high riding, it's very impressive in the way this car performs in terms of high speed stability. Performance obviously is a given because it's an EV. Handling we will find out later ahead, because obviously we're going to go through a slalom course as well. There's some sound coming, I think tire noise is coming, probably low rolling resistance tires here, but I think this car can do this all day long. Before that, let me praise this amazing proving ground, which is Hyundai's proving ground here in California, which is 4,000 acres, which is like 15 times the size of Hyundai India's factory, which is humongous. And here we have 3 lanes, but let me also plug in our beautiful Natrax here, because it has 4 lanes, and the Natrax oval is actually bigger than this one. Yeah, that is I think 11.8 kilometers long. This is 10.8 kilometers per long, somewhere around that. So yes, our track is bigger. We are bigger than the USA, at least in terms of the proving grounds, but that is a national track. This is Hyundai's own personal test track, which is also rent out to others. They want to do testing 24/7, open 365 days a year, and that's one of the major reasons why Hyundai's cars are improving so much, because they're testing a lot. They're doing a lot of R&D. They're making sure that they are putting a lot of effort in improving the car in terms of the dynamics. And now I've actually changed the drive mode. No, I think this is the eco drive mode. Yeah. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes up in 5.2 seconds for the all-wheel drive performance model, which is quite quick. And lane change, my goodness, the steering actually weighs up. It's impressive the way the steering weighs up. It is also impressive how glued to the road this car is. And the brakes, yeah, the brakes make a bit of sound, because obviously you cannot deny the fact that if a car is going to have a lot of weight, which naturally is going to be there because it's obviously an MPV and SUV, it's going to compete with the Tesla Model Y. and that weight is there, and because of that weight shift is going to happen. Suspension is obviously tweaked for more comfort, which is on the softer side here, and because of which ride quality is very impressive, but it depends on the wheel options. So you can get 19s, you can get 20s, you can get 21s as well. They've actually tried to reduce the weight of this car. They've gone, okay, ADAS warning there. So they've gone ahead and actually used aluminium on the front fenders in certain places to reduce the weight, and I can now see a Tucson on my ass. Good, I didn't stop to do a 0 to 100 km/h run. And now I think it's time to get into the handling track. Another thing, if you notice, these lights actually, they work when I think the car is being charged. So it tells you that as well, and off we go. Yeah, the wheels spinning. I think the rear wheel drive model is the best one to purchase because it has the best range, claim range of 620 km as per WLTP, and the US norm of testing is a bit different, and there is a bump on the road intentionally created. Trust me, the car did glide there very effortlessly. Okay, let's go. So immediately what I'm going to do is the most important thing, which is launch it, and off we go.
50 rupees cut overacting.
Okay, stop overreacting. The car is not that fast as I'm trying to appear. Anyways, as I can see, yes, it is very, very, very smooth, and around the corners is also quite impressive. Such a big car has no business going so smoothly around the corners, but it somehow manages beautifully well. Look at the way it's just maintaining its line, and the steering actually has decent feel as well, which is again very surprising. So this battery, which is a 110.3 kilowatt hour battery pack, has 42 modules, and when compared to the Kia EV9, this car actually has, what does it have? It has a much bigger battery because the EV9 is having just a 99.8 kilowatt hour battery pack. However, both the cars charge at the same time. 10 to 80% takes 24 minutes for both the cars. So how does this car charge faster with a bigger battery? Simply because this car's battery charging has been optimized now, obviously, and with a 350 kilowatt ultra fast charger, DC ultra fast charger, that is very much possible. In terms of the handling, body roll is actually surprisingly well contained, and we're going to test the brakes. Yeah, there is obviously that nose dive under heavy braking. My camera bag just fell off, but never mind, that tire squealing will obviously happen because of the weight of the car. But as far as electric cars go, this is actually very impressive in the way it's performing. It is maintaining its line beautifully well, and then around this long sweeper, look at me go. Can you hear any noise? No tire noise yet now. Nope. Now there is some tire noise. The front end doesn't wash out that easily. It doesn't understeer as fast as you would expect it to. That is the surprising part here, and I'm pleasantly surprised by how good this car is to drive. And look at the way it goes. Oh my goodness. Obviously it's not very dynamic, but as far as cars of this weight, and especially electric cars, have a lot of weight because of the battery alone. That's the reason they have actually used aluminum on the front fenders in certain areas to reduce the weight of the car. 700 Newton meters of torque. 700 Newton meters of torque. That obviously helps managing all that weight here. 0 to 100 km/h in 5.2 seconds, depending on the variant, whether it's the rear wheel drive variant or it is the all wheel drive variant or the all wheel drive performance. The way this car performs obviously differs as well. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's a like button, and comment if you want this car to come to India, because I certainly feel there's a huge market for something like this, considering the Kia EV9 is priced at an obnoxious rupees 1.3 crores. On that disappointment, it's time to end. Bye bye.